Hello and welcome to another episode in my Warhammer 4000 Conquest series. In this episode, we're going to be building our very own Primaris Chaplain, and I'll be showing you some conversion ideas as well, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Now first of all, before we get started, can I just say if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you get the notifications for when I post any other videos. Also, if you're feeling charitable, I have a link down below for my Patreon account. I'm going to start doing exclusive videos and content for that. So hop over, have a look and subscribe. Right, now let's get building. Let's get started. So first of all, you're going to need your sprue. You're going to need the base that comes with it as well, so it's the larger base. You will need your mold line remover and your clippers as well, and also you'll need your plastic glue. And finally, if you've got any super glue, then it's ideal for gluing it onto the base so you can snap it off and paint underneath and paint the base separately and so on. So have a look through the instructions, make sure that you familiarize yourself with how to build it, and check the sprue as well. All the pieces will be numbered 1, 2, 3, etc. And it's usually an indication of the order in which you put it together, but always double check those instructions just to be sure. Then you get your clippers and clip out the bits that you need, and try and keep them in order, don't mix them up too much. Once you've clipped them out, you then use your mold line remover to remove the mold lines. So the mold lines aren't too bad because it is a very new mold, so it's very little cleanup. It's more just the bits where you're connected to the sprue. Then you just use just a little bit of the glue, you don't want too much, and just go around those little edges that you will be making contact. If you're not sure where it makes contact, just double check, because you don't want to put glue on the areas where it's not going to be attached to another piece, as you'll melt that edge a little bit and it will look a little warped. Once you've done that, start gluing on your next bits. So with the feet, you can just pop it upside down. With the arm, I wasn't happy with the original pose, so I had to play around with that. But before I got around to that, I made the most of the fact that the glue had softened the plastic and got the mold line remover to sort of press the softened plastic into any gaps that were left by the pieces being put together, because it's not 100% right, but it's almost there. So just that little extra work makes it a lot better. And then of course, if you have a hobby drill and you like to drill the barrels of your weapons, then of course make sure you have something sharp to mark the initial point in which you're going to drill, and then just take your time with it. And then of course use a modeling knife just to neaten up. So now I've done that, I was more inclined to change the pose of the arm a little bit. So I clipped off the little tags on the shoulder, just so that I had more flexibility of where I could pose the arm rather than the fixed position. And of course I used the mold line remover to do this after clipping it. And then of course I just glued it in place, making sure that the shoulder pad doesn't press the arm too far out from the shoulder socket, because of the robes and so forth. Then I had to play around with the weapon. I wasn't happy with it because it looks too much like a pimp stick, so I used the iron halo to make it look a bit more foreboding. So I had a look, measured it approximately. The base of that Iron Halo is about the width of the skull, so it matched quite well. So I carefully cut that base out, checked to see if I needed to neaten it up. Luckily I didn't. And then I just glued it carefully in place and made sure that I adjusted it while the glue was still soft to get it as straight as possible. While that was drying, I then played around with the poses of the head. I thought it looked better if he's looking down the barrel of the gun. So I clipped out the tag from the neck and then just glued it in place. I then also glued on the Book of Rites. And it should look something like that. And then of course you have the little trinket as well that goes at the bottom of the robes, just at the end of that chain. Now the fiddly bits are out of the way, you can then glue the arm on, and yeah, I was happy with the original pose, so I kept it as it was. And once you've glued that on, put the shoulder pad and the power pack on. Now, sometimes I'll keep the backpack off, but these details I can get to easy enough, and the rims as well. So that's why I haven't done it, but I'm happy with that pose because it's a lot more commanding. It's sort of like just putting a bullet in a heretic at the same time as raising his staff. Doesn't look so much like a pimp staff, it actually looks like it could pack a punch. There we go. Super glue to put a bit of super glue on one bit of the foot, like that, so it's easy to take off when I need to. And that, ladies, gentlemen, Xenos, and everything in between, is how you do it. And of course, just follow those steps. The only difference to the regular way is that this would be glued on top of the power pack, so right there. But yeah, I much prefer this, and you can do a similar thing if you got like the little angel wings left over from kit bashing your blood angels or dark angels. You can just stick the wings either side of their skull, and it sort of just bulks it out a little bit. Can't go wrong with spiky edges. Nothing wrong with bludgeoning your enemies to bits, but spiky edges are cool. So as you can see, it's a very simple yet effective conversion, and it really does make a difference. It really helps sort of bulk out the weapon, so you know it doesn't look too much like a pimp stick. And that's, I call it a pimp stick because it looks like a walking cane that you would see from a pimp from like the 70s, you know, from one of those action movies. So all he needs is like some leopard print, like a leopard print cowboy hat, and some furs and some snake skin boots, and it's got the look down. Yeah. Anyways, please, if anyone's done that conversion, I need to see that. Social media links in the description below. Now, let's see what you guys have been up to. So here is our community focus on your conversion ideas. Okay, to start with, we have Eric Tasker with his Deathwatch conversion here. Absolutely splendid, and yes, you can see he's used tons of parts to make it. Tabletop Wolf has done a conversion himself using different arm pieces to get a different pose. Kenny Cannon has created a Thousand Suns Warlock out of pieces that he had left over. And here with the head swap and the top of the weapon swap, William Woodhall
has created a very unique model here too. Colin Harvard used leftover pieces to make himself a Dark Angel captain. And David Millister's even gone as far as to creating from scratch his own double barrel shotguns, and he's made 2. Gary Kenny has done a swap at the end of the weapon, and it looks very effective. And of course, Carl Christie had a similar idea to use the Iron Halo as part of the weapon. And then finally, we have Rookery Miniatures with their conversion using parts from an already existing Space Marine Chaplain.
So as you can see, there's plenty of inspiration of what you can do and what you can achieve with the most simplest or the most complex of conversions. So take what you've seen. If you see anything that you really like, then you can always find these people on social media. Very easy to find. I've got the groups in the description below as well on Facebook that they normally hang out in, so have a look there, and you can always ask for the ideas and for the people behind the ideas in those groups, and they'll be more than happy to share. So yeah, that's that. So thank you very much for watching. Also, please do make sure that you go to my mate Big Mech Danskull, because he will be doing the weekly reviews on all of the new issues, and he also fleshes it out with all of the knowledge that he has on the lore behind it, so he's always worth checking out. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.